Have you ever had a crush that felt, well, so intense you thought you were kind of losing your mind? Today, we're diving right into that feeling. We're stepping into this world of midnight violet and polished chrome to really dissect Don Toliver's body and figure out the anatomy of a modern obsession. Let's get right into it.
So let me start by asking you a question. What does psychedelic intoxication actually sound like? You know, that dizzying, dreamlike state? If you could bottle that feeling up into a sound, what would it even be? Well, this song, it has a pretty compelling answer for us.
And it all kicks off with this single line. Seriously, this is the key that unlocks the entire song. It's not just a lyric, you know? It's a full-on confession. It's this total surrender to an overwhelming force. So yeah, let's be clear, this is no ordinary crush we're talking about.
And that brings us right here. You can just forget about your typical sweet love songs. We are going headfirst into what happens when attraction turns into a high-octane obsession, a feeling so powerful, it's like it has a life of its own. The entire driving force of the song comes from this feeling of being right on the edge, you know? And that's what gives us that signature liquid elastic flow in his vocals. It's a style that's syrupy, it's smooth, super flexible, but it also feels like it could just snap at any second. It is the sound of an attraction that's both thrilling and honestly, dangerously intoxicating.
So, how does this obsession really play out in the story of the song? That's exactly what we're going to get into next. Because this feeling, it is not one-dimensional at all. It's a constant tug of war between two very different and very powerful impulses.
Okay, so this right here really gets to the core of the song's tension. On one side, you've got these sweet, seductive lines like, "You're my baby girl, she a keeper." But then, just underneath, there's this really stark undercurrent of pure domination. The song is constantly flipping between these two extremes, and it's that push and pull that makes it so fascinating and, yeah, a little unnerving.
And that impulse to dominate, it's not just emotional, it gets physical. I mean, take the line, "Baby, come here." In pretty much any other song, that would be a sweet little invitation, right? But here, in this high-stakes, moody atmosphere, it sounds way more like a command. And then he just comes right out and says it. It really doesn't get much more direct than this. "I'm a grip on you." Wow. That is not some metaphor for affection. It's a statement of ownership. It's chillingly clear.
So this one line completely changes the entire dynamic of the song. It becomes about raw physical power, about control. The grip is both literal and metaphorical. It's this really visceral way of just saying, "You belong to me."
And now, well, this is where things get even more complicated. The next line is, "She don't tell me no when I'm touching on her face." On its own, sure, it could mean anything. But in the context of this song, with everything we've heard so far, it is absolutely loaded.
So here's the really crucial point. Consent isn't just about someone not saying no. It's about an enthusiastic yes. And this line intentionally blurs that distinction in a way that's really uncomfortable, and it adds this whole other unsettling layer to the power dynamic we've been tracing.
Okay, so we've talked about how this obsession plays out in his actions, in what he does. But what's going on inside his head? Because this isn't just about controlling someone else. It's also about completely losing control of yourself.
Take this line, for example. It's not just, "I go crazy about her." The full line connects that craziness to this sense of high stakes, almost desperate energy. It's the sound of someone who is all in and maybe a little unhinged by the whole thing.
And that is the feeling the song just captures so perfectly. It's not a crush, it's a fixation that is right on the verge of madness. It's so intense, so volatile, that it feels like the whole thing could just fall apart at any second.
So what happens when all that internal chaos starts to spill out into the world? Well, it becomes this kind of aggressive, territorial defiance, like what we see right here. I mean, this is a straight-up challenge. It is a warning shot to anyone who might even think about being a rival. He's drawing a line in the sand, basically saying, "This is my territory, and I will defend it no matter what."
Okay, so we've broken down the lyrics, we've talked about the themes of control, the internal madness, and that external aggression. Now let's pull all of these threads together and actually give this entire aesthetic a name.
And what you get is something we can call noir trap. It's this incredible blend of modern trap's melodic, syrupy flows with the dark, moody, and fatalistic themes you'd see in classic film noir. It's a whole world built on obsession, luxury, and the dangerous thrill of a high-stakes nightlife. And this breaks it all down perfectly. You've got that lyrical obsession we've been exploring. You have that totally unique liquid elastic vocal style.
You've got that dark, moody visual palette, that midnight violet and polished chrome. And it all comes together to create this feeling of a high-stakes, luxurious, and, yeah, maybe a little bit dangerous nightlife.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. In this cinematic world of noir trap, a world built on these intoxicating sounds and these dangerous feelings, where does romance actually end and obsession begin? It's a fine, fine line, and this song walks it brilliantly.